Hello and welcome. Baseball action here on KCSI. Aaron West along with Dan Kraus. Dan, good evening to you.
Good evening. What a beautiful night it is here at Red Oak Legion Park. We were just making the comment that we couldn't have much nicer. The wind's slightly blowing from the south. So as you know, here at Legion Field, that blows from right field to left field. So yeah, it's going to be a nice night. Everybody is here in shirt sleeves and shorts. Going to enjoy some good varsity baseball games between the Red Oak Tigers and the Clarinda Cardinals tonight. Hey, we also got another guy here.
Matt
Your-
Davis.
Your field reporter.
Matt Davis with us. Matt, are you ready for baseball?
I'll be reporting from the concession stand and all other points throughout the stadium tonight.
Well, it's hard to contain them in any one place, that's for sure. Red Oak just finished their in and out on the infield, and they're coming off the field. Now the Clarinda Cardinals will take their time on the field to start their defensive warm-ups. And it's good to see everybody out here. And let's just kind of kick down through the Clarinda Cardinals visiting team. We're going to go down through their roster here. They're coached by Rod Eberly, as he has for several years. Everybody that knows Rod knows the Eberly family's been deep-seated in baseball in the Clarinda community for several years. He's assistant coach of Zach Gehring and Carson Rydell. We'll just go number-wise here. We're going to go down the lineup here. Number one is Cole Baumgart Jr. He's a junior. Cole Baumgart is a junior. Number two, James McCall is a senior. Number three, Leland Woodruff is a junior. Number four, Cade Engstrand is a senior. Number five, Karsten Beckel is a sophomore. Number seven, Tayden Brown is a senior. Number eight, Ronnie Weidman is a senior. Number 10, Justice Fine is a junior. Number 9, Ryan Wagner is an 8th grader. Number 12, Levi Wise is a senior. Another senior, Anthony Webb, number 16. Number 21, Marcus Foster is a senior. Number 25, Andrew Jones, a junior. Number 32, Caden Butt is a junior. And don't know what number he's going to be wearing tonight, either the 34 or 11. Creighton Tuzio is a junior, and that winds up their lineup.
Yeah, the Cardinals come in 3-1 early on the season, Danny, and this is a team that, as you mentioned, that's a perennial powerhouse in Hawkeye 10. The Cardinals and the Clarinda, what a tremendous baseball community they are, and this is Coach Eberly's 12th or 19th year, I think he said. If I got that correct, as a head coach in there, and just a tremendous program in there. This is a series between Red Oak and Clarinda. It's been dominated by Clarinda. Clarinda has a 25-6 series edge going back 2009. In fact, the Cardinals have won the last 7 in a row over the Tigers, 3 last year, 1 being the playoffs. They've won 15 in the last 17. The last Red Oak win over the Cardinals was in 2019. So, all that says this is a series that just has been going Clarinda way. And last year the Cardinals were a spectacular 22-8, getting to regional championship game, losing in the Kemper. So all that and more with Clarinda in town tonight to face the Tigers.
Just as we're watching the warm-ups here on the field, you can tell the mechanics are all there. They do the right things defensively wise to hunt down the ball, make the play, and that's been, like you said, a stalwart with the Eberly family and Clarinda for a number of years. Of course, if you've never been down to Clarinda to see a game, you should really do yourself a favor down there at the Lead Recreation Complex where the baseball diamond is located. There is a bust of Rod Eberly's father, Merle Eberly, who has a long history with not only the Clarinda A's baseball program, but a lot of the camps and such that he held for kids down there. Also do yourself a favor and take a look at all the former major league players that came through the Clarinda A's organization that they have printed on the side of the building down there. It's really something to fall back on. I know you'll find some names that you'll recognize there, from Vaughn Hayes to Ozzie Smith to several of those that have come through the system down there. And it's just a neat place to visit, and it has that old ballpark feel to it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a town that has deep roots in baseball, and the Eberly family has been so prominent with that. And I was talking to Rod before the game. They're coming off a doubleheader split last night with Atlantic up in Atlantic, 2 one-run games, losing a one-run game and then winning one. And it was a tough, hard-fought night last night. And here, that's the thing that, as we get into baseball season starting here, these games are starting to pile up fast. So Clarinda turns right around and got a game night. Red Oak, of course, had a doubleheader last night against Class 3A, number 3 ranked Lewis Central, losing a doubleheader to them. And here they are, both teams right back at it here at Legion Park tonight, and in a Hawkeye 10 matchup. And, it's going to be a great matchup in a sense, because I think, Danny, as much as we talk about Clarinda, you get a little sense that this Red Oak team is on the verge of breaking through. They've got 5 seniors. This is a group of kids in this Red Oak program that are now matured into their senior year, and you kind of get the sense this is a pivotal year for the Red Oak Tiger program. And this is a big game tonight for the Tigers to kind of see where they stand with this perennial powerhouse of the Clarinda Cardinals.
Well, Red Oak's got on the mound Mr. Dawson Bond tonight, and he's leading the Hawkeye 10 with at the time of my report that I got was 17 strikeouts. So that's something really to fall in line with and kind of watch for tonight, because Dawson, he is a competitor. I talked to Dawson a couple times, and one question I asked him specifically was make the correlation. Dawson, is the state championship wrestler from Red Oak. I said, make the correlation between the two sports. He goes, really, they're kind of similar, because when you're one-on-one up there with the pitcher and the hitter, it's the one-on-one confrontation, but it is the teamwork that, of course, scores the team points in both sports. So, he makes the correlation. If you haven't had an opportunity to watch Dawson play, and I know you will tonight, there's just a certain fire about the young man. There's a certain desire and a certain thing that we've watched him develop for years right here in not only baseball but wrestling and all other sports, and it just makes it very exciting to watch him play whatever sport he's in at the time.
Yeah, Dawson got those 17 strikeouts in that game against Creston, a 1-0 win, and that was a big complete game shutout that he did that, and that was back on the 25th. He's rested, ready, and locked to go, and tonight he'll be able to max out on the pitch count at 110 tonight. So, Red Oak's bringing their ace into the game night against Cardinals.
Matt, maybe you can talk about that a little bit as we move along through the night here about the pitch count and some of that sort of stuff that they're working on. I just, talking about Dawson, watching him through the years in football, watching him in wrestling, and the way he conducts himself within the school, he's a real leader or has been through the years of school. Top-notch young man. He truly is.
Yeah, it's really nice to have athletes that excel in their sport, but it's even better to have people that are good humans. And Dawson fits that definition to a T.
Without a
and
doubt.
It's even better in baseball when you can sit your fastball between 85 and 88 miles per hour, which is what Dawson Bond can do tonight. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that. I mean, that's bringing some serious gas, but talking before game, it's some of those off-speed pitches, a curve, and he's been working on the slider, got the changeup. So he's got all the pitch mix going tonight, and he'll need that tonight against this tough Cardinal team.
Yep, lots of things are going to have to come into play. We're looking for a really good ball game tonight, and we're going to get started here in just a few minutes.
A few minutes away from that, and I just, again, want to comment, it's a beautiful night.
It is a beautiful night.
If you're in the area, you really owe it to yourself. There's just something about watching a baseball game.
Oh, can you
Weather
smell that?
Is pleasant.
We're
you
just
smell
up,
the concession
We're just
stand.
up from the concession stand to get the whiff of the hot dogs and the popcorn up here.
Well, yeah, and also a credit to the Red Oak school system. They have done a marvelous job with this Legion Park complex over the years.
Nice?
Really slow. Every year it seems like they're upgrading something. Even to the red clay mix on the home plate and pitcher's mound makes a big difference. The field is well maintained and manicured, and just they do a great job upgrading this facility, make it great for baseball and game tonight. And I will say, when we were kids back in the 1930s, they only had a dirt infield here, and it was a dirt infield. We had a wraparound white covered wooden bleacher that wrapped from third base all the way to first base, and of course that's gone now. But I can still vision that now. This beautiful lush grass and a nice ballpark, and the wind's blowing out a little bit out to the fences tonight. So. It's all good in regards to that. I will say the other thing I want to talk a little bit, Danny, before we kind of get into this. So, Red Oak's off to a 4-2 start on the year. They've had 2 blowouts over Sydney and I think Mo Valley, and they had that big 1-0 win over Creston, beat Atlantic 10-4, and then losing, to Lewis Central, which is a number 3 ranked team in the state. So Red Oak's off to a 4-2 start, a good start. But talking to Coach Erickson for the game, Danny, he was kind of saying this 3 or 4 game stretch right here is a big stretch for Red Oak because they're all 2A teams. They're going to match up in the playoffs at the end of the year. Clarinda tonight, then Red Oak travels tonight. They go right to Shenandoah tomorrow to play Shenandoah, and then they come back on Saturday and play Trainer. So right in this stretch, Coach Eric said this is a really the litmus test for this Tiger team that's going to be getting here with this game against Clarinda tonight.
Well, it's a blessing and a curse because, as the high school baseball season goes on, it can be a grind. It can be every night. It can be two games a day. It can be a lot of things, and usually under not the greatest conditions. Well, we got beautiful conditions tonight. We have the umpires meeting at home plate. Trace Peterson will be behind the plate tonight. Chris Johnson will be working the bases. They've met with the head coaches. They've exchanged the lineup cards, and we're going to be ready to play baseball here in just a couple of minutes.
Let's take a quick break, guys, and we will be right back after this. We're going to say thanks to our sponsors, and we will be back right after this.
Time I need a dependable place to get equipment for my ag business, I go to Whip Sales and Service. Always have.
Hey, Dad, this ATV's incredible.
And once my son saw they have ATVs and quads, well, he became a second-generation satisfied customer.
Since 1976, Whip Sales and Service has been serving southwestern Iowa and northwest Missouri with premium commercial ag equipment, grain haulers, tractors, and lots more. We also cover your weekends with ATVs, UTVs, quads, and top-notch mowers. Located in Clarinda, Iowa, where we stay small but sell big.
Welcome back, Aaron West, Matt Davis, Dan Kraus, and just a few minutes away here from the
First pitch.
first pitch.
What a comfortable night it is out here. We got some wind blowing out from the right field. We're going to get down through your lineup. Starting off with Clarinda is going to be up to bat first, of course. Number 7, Brown, the shortstop, led by Wagner, the catcher, followed by right fielder Weedman, first baseman Tuzio, second baseman McCall, the left fielder Wise, the third baseman Beckel, the pitcher is Butt, and the center fielder is Engstrand for the Clarinda Cardinals. Tonight for the Red Oak Tigers, this is how they'll go on their lineup. Batting first will be Chase Roeder, number 2. He's on first baseman. Lyndon Cowles, the center fielder, will bat second. Dawson Bond batting third. He's going to pitch. A.J. Schmidt, the third baseman, is the cleanup hitter. The catcher, Woods, bats number 5. Number 6 is Adam Beyer, the right fielder. Brody Bond, the second baseman, bats 7th. Hall in left field bats 8th, and Erickson, the shortstop, will bat 9th for the Tigers tonight.
And I think, Danny, one thing to kind of look at that, Clarinda's going with Caden Butt tonight, has not pitched on the year yet. And let me see how he does in his first pitching debut here in 2023. Clarinda pitched Tuzio, their number 1 starter, and then McCall last night in the doubleheader. So they're going with their third or fourth pitch tonight, where Red Oak has their ace going.
So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes out here. They're introducing the Red Oak Tigers. They're coming out onto the field to start their program tonight.
And we noticed in that Clarinda lineup that Coach Eberle's got an 8th grader starting that catcher spot, Ryan Wagner. So that means I'm sure that's a talented young man in there. He'll have his debut, I guess, at the catching spot tonight for the Cardinals.
That'll be something to watch.
Yeah, and then in that Red Oak lineup, you got a red-hot Dawson Bond. Not only is he doing on the pitching mound, but he's batting .636, so he's doing the plate and on the mound. And Red Oak's got a freshman in that lineup, Kale Hall, at left field. So some youngsters weaving in there with that Red Oak Tigers senior-dominated lineup.
Yep. As they're taking the field here, we just had another beautiful night. The head coach for the Red Oak Tigers is Mark Erickson. The assistant coaches are Steve Erickson, Tristan Johnson, Josh Kipley, and they have 2 managers, Hope Schmidtke and Ashley Schmid. We're going to pause here momentarily for the national anthem live here from Red Oak Legion Field.
And we will be back after this. Welcome back to Legion Field. Aaron West, Dan Kraus, Matt Davis. Hey, Dan, I want to comment on one thing from this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You're a member of the Court of Honor.
Yeah.
Well
We're
done.
A little busy with that this weekend.
Well done.
What a beautiful day.
Oh.
And as we sat there in anticipation that morning, thinking about putting out the flags, we were all saying, it's just been way too long. way too long since we've been able to post some flags like there. So we went up there, and what a crowd of volunteers. Probably the biggest I've ever seen was there to help us post the flags. Within an hour and a half, had over 1,600 flags posted at the cemetery. It was a beautiful sight. It turned out to be a wonderful day. Had a nice program up there. And then at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we had a nice crowd of volunteers show up to do. We had them torn back down in about 2 hours. So, what a great day, and a perfect weather to honor those who have served our country and passed on, like I said, some of the folks that never made it home and made it out of their uniform, that we could honor them with that day.
I've said it many times in the last few days, and I'll continue to say it. That is one of the most moving and well-done things that takes place right here in the Red Oak community. And what we're talking about, nearly 1,600 flags at Evergreen Cemetery.
Yes.
That's what we're talking about for Memorial Day. Truly a phenomenal and spectacular event for sure.
And as we're sitting here looking at the Court of Honor building just beyond the right field fence, and the Old Glory waving out there and showing the breeze blowing from the south, so that means it's blowing from right field out of left field. What a beautiful sight it is, and knowing that a lot of work that day. It starts about 4 o'clock in the morning for some, and then we got done that night about 8:30. So it was great to get everything wrapped up and done, and put a good program to say. So thank you. I'll pass that on to the rest of the Court of Honor.
Well done, and I'll continue to say it every opportunity I get. Matt?
So Dawson Bond warming up. He's a first-team All-Hawkeye 10 performer last year. He's going to work that fastball off that fastball, sits in 85, 88 range, working the curve and the slider. A little change-up in their action. Talking to Dawson for the game. He wants to get out early, get ahead on the counts, control that count. And it's going to start right with their leadoff man, Danny Taden Brown. The key to this game is keeping Mr. Brown off the bases. If he gets on first, he's going to be on third real quick. This man is lightning fast. And here we go.
Always the way they set up the lineups there on the baseball game. We got the players meeting in the field. The ball is in Dawson Bond's hand. He's ready to approach the ready to approach the pitcher's mound. And like you said, number 7, Brown, is up. He's the shortstop for the Cardinals. He's a right-handed hitter. He's got that warm-up sleeve on his right arm there. And we'll see what he got. First pitch from Bond is called a strike. So we got it. He's already ahead of the hitter, 0-1.
Yeah, Bond is just Brown is just lightning fast. These two guys have met up on all kinds of football field actions. They're here on the baseball diamond.
Curveball gives a little bit high. We got a count of 1-1 on Brown. It looks like these guys, if they played together for many years, like many of them have, kind of know the intricacies, but get to see some different parts. A big swing by Brown on that pitch, and Dawson Bond has him 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Brown. Let's see what Dawson Bond dials up here as he looks in for the sign from the catcher, and the pitch comes in. Here's a hit by Brown. It's a pop out to second base. Looks like it was brought in there. A nice catch there by Brody Bond, our second baseman, for 1 out. Brown goes down for a fly out to second base for the first out of the game. The catcher, Wagner, comes up now. And remember, we talked about this is the 8th grader, and we'll see how he does with his skills. He's a right-handed hitter. Heads up there, fouls off the first pitch, goes straight up.
Chase,
and it looks like it's gone off to the third base side between the dugout and the stands.
And, Dan, it's one of the cool things I like about Iowa high school baseball being played in the summer, allowing this. It's kind of like you get an extra year of athletic competition, and there's been some talk about moving baseball to the spring. I think we all agree. We like baseball in the summer here in Iowa.
Well, I can tell you from personal experience of watching some games in Nebraska, there's another foul tip off the third base side, so he got him down 0-2 now to Wagner. I can tell you by witnessing some Nebraska spring games that it can be mighty cold starting that, whether or not you have snow on the field or whether or not you can play, there are some disadvantages to that. For the third pitch and the third foul off the third base side. So Wagner's not afraid to get up there and take his hacks. He's had 3 straight foul balls.
Yeah, just I understand there's some reasons and motives to move the sport, but, man, just keeping this Iowa baseball softball in the summer is I think a real advantage for the kids in high school. I'm a proponent of club sports working around high school sports and not high school sports working around club sports.
Right. So fastball on the inside. He has a count now of 1-2 on Wagner. Here comes the pitch. Curveball floats in there. Called third strike. Wagner's going to have a seat. That's our first strikeout for Dawson Bond.
Nice curveball there from Dawson.
So 2 outs. We're leading on to the right fielder, Weidman. He wears number 8, a right-handed hitter for the Clarinda Cardinals.
Batting .571. He's 4-7 on the year so far, so he has been swinging a hot bat, Ronnie Weidman.
Then Dawson Bond at the windup. Here's the pitch. First pitch is a strike called down to the lower side in the outside corner. Looks like Dawson Bond's kind of dialed in and really motivated tonight to put on a good performance and see what he can do here. Second pitch coming from Bond comes in. Comes a little bit inside. That's ball one.
You know, Dawson told me pregame, Danny, that the change in his pitching motion this year, he's using only 1 foot on the rubber. Last year, he required to keep 2 foot on rubber. But he's only got 1 foot on rubber, so he's gone to a sidestep windup, and it's really helped him. He said.
Swinging a pitch on the third pitch there, and so that Dawson's got him down 1-2. Like I said, the right fielder, Weedman, number 8, the right-handed hitter, calls for time, backs out of the box. Going to do some adjustments, gets right back into the box. We'll get a little bit of discussion into the pitch clock in the major leagues a little bit later on in the game today, Matt. Don't have to deal with that here. There's a soft soft grounder that was thrown out that got out to second base. Brody Bond throws it off to the first baseman for the third out. I didn't know by the way that ball was hit if it was actually going to get to the second base or not. Had to come in and attack it and go in and get the third out. So 3 up and 3 down for the Clarinda Cardinals. We'll be back with the Red Oak Tigers coming to bat in the first inning right after this. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night for all the Clarinda batters in the top part of the first inning. Dawson Bond took care of business right away. 1 strikeout, 2 outs there to make the top part of the inning. And we'll bring up the Tigers now. Leading off is going to be Mr. Chase Roeder. He's the first baseman. Chase is a senior this year. He plays catcher and infield for the Tigers.
Chase batting .400 on a year, 429 OP, on base percentage, 4 RBIs, and he was honorable mention all All-Kaitan. He's kind of that utility player for the Tigers, Danny. He can move around. Coach Erickson has the luxury of moving around, but he's primarily settled in that first base spot this year, switching with Braden Woods, who, of course, Woody covered first base bag mostly last year, but now he's catching this year, so Chase is over at first base, and Woody's behind the
high school baseball. It's kind of like pitchers. You know, you got to have a couple different people that can play different positions and have that covered for that. So, you know, it's good to have another backup catcher that can go back there and call the signals. Looks like we're ready to go here. First pitch to Roeder is called outside for ball 1.
Caden Butt on the mound for Clarinda. No stats on him, so I'm assuming this is his first time on the mound this year for the Cardinals.
Left-handed pitcher. And it looks like a ground ball comes out to third base. Third baseman's got it. He's going to fire on over to first.
Nice play there by Beckel to field that high hopper and get it over to first.
So Chase Roeder is out third base to first base for first out of the game. Brings up Landon Kaus, the center fielder for the Tigers. Landon, you know, is a left-handed hitter. Landon is very well versed in where to put the ball. Probably one of the better disciplined hitters I've seen on the Rock Tigers for quite some time, and really is serious about the game. He really knows his mechanics. First pitch is called a strike, right down the middle.
Landon batting .294, kind of a slow start by his standards on the year, but like you said, he's really got a good approach at the plate. Signed with Simpson, going to go to Simpson at the end of the year and play next year college baseball in Simpson.
That sounds like a great idea, and then of course the Kaus family, all the guys have been good baseball players there, and we've been blessed to have them as part of the Tiger organization. Second pitch comes in a little bit low, so count of 1-1.
Little lefty-lefty match here, with Butt going against Kaus here, and when Landon's swinging the bat well, he's going to hit those gaps, that left center gap. That's where his real strength is when he's swinging well.
Looks like the outfield's playing straight away. The next pitch comes on a little bit on the inside. It's called for a ball, so we got to count it 2 balls and 1 strike on Landon Kaus. Defense is pretty much straight away. No real changes here. Usually for a left-handed batter, they'll make some adjustments, but haven't seen any quite yet so far for Kaus. Next pitch comes in. Cal swings and misses, so count is out. 2 balls, 2 strikes against Landon
a little out in front on that one there, I think.
We're scoreless, 1 out in the bottom of the first inning here at Red Oak Legion Field. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate your participation in our game tonight. Like to hear your comments. Go ahead and comment on that. Cal swings at the next pitch and comes up empty, and he's going to go down for out number 2.
Nice pitch there by Bud. Got him chasing on that curveball out of zone there.
Kind of looked like he was looking for something that wasn't quite there, and by the time he went to go slow down, it wasn't there. Going to lead on to Dawson Bond is going to be the hitter number 3 for the Red Oak Tigers. Of course, Dawson's pitching tonight. Number 1, right-handed hitter, and we told lots of stories about Dawson. Let's see what he has in store for tonight. He's got a nice swing on that, drives it out to right field. Right fielder is there, brings it in for the Cardinals. That's Weedman out there in right field. So 3 up and 3 down with that, and we're scoreless after 1 inning here at Legion Park. We'll be back after a few minutes.
Owner. Hi, this is Carter Bruce, the new owner of CR Graphics. I look forward to serving all of Southwest Iowa for your custom design needs. Our services include customizable apparel, banners, yard signs, magnets, car decals, window stickers, posters, and more. We are your one-stop shop for all your graphic design needs. The possibilities are endless. Stop by CR Graphics, located at 101 North Broadway in Red Oak, and see how we can help you or your business out. CR Graphics, your graphic design center in Red Oak.
Look, I'm not the kind of person that needs a trophy every time I do a good deed, but I like rewards as much as the next guy. That's why I got a sensible checking account at Bank Iowa. I can earn 10 cents cash back on purchases made with my debit card monthly with no limits on the amount I earn back. Plus, I get free online banking and identity theft protection. All I have to do is keep $100 in the account and receive e-statements. Basically, I'm getting rewarded by Bank Iowa for saving trees and buying stuff. Visit your local Bank Iowa location to learn about our sensible checking account option or read more online at bankiowa.bank, member FDIC.
Legion Field, varsity baseball action between the Clarinda Cardinals and the Red Oak Tigers. Leading off now in the top of the second inning for the Clarinda Cardinals, the first baseman, Creighton Tuzio. Creighton Tuzio, number 34, is a right-handed batter. Dawson Bond set for the first pitch. Swing and a miss by Tuzio, strike 1.
Tied him up there on that pitch. Danny brought it up and in on Creighton. Creighton's off to a little slow start bat, 167, but he's got some pop. He's got a home run, so you know he can get a hold of it. It's going to go.
Second pitch from Bond comes in, and it's a called strike on the outside corner of the plate. Dawson Bond has him down 0-2 to start off with here. That'd be good for his pitch count if he could get to these guys early, and I know he's aggressive. There's no doubt about that. Looks like a curveball comes in, called third strike. Take a seat, Mr. Tuzio. Dawson Bond gets his second strikeout for the game. Next up is number 2, James McCall. James is a senior. He's playing second base tonight. Also a right-handed hitter.
James, a second-team Hawkeye 10 performer last year, so another good ball player here for the Cardinals.
Dawson Bond sit, winds, and here comes the first pitch. Right in there for a strike, called strike by the home plate umpire, Mr. Trace Peterson. Dawson set and ready to go. He doesn't spend a whole lot of time between pitches. He likes to go to work. Brings in the second pitch, fouled straight back by McCall. Quickly down on the count, 0-2. Dawson Bond has the advantage here.
Just a good pace here. You know, there is, you mentioned pitch clock, Dave. There is no pitch clock, I've seen in high school baseball, but you know, when you get that pitcher getting a rhythm, you want to break him up a little bit. The Cardinals will step out a little bit, try to slow that rhythm of Bond, because he's in a real good rhythm right now.
Right. Here comes the pitch from Bond in. Reaches out, pokes it right over the shortstop's head for a hit into center field. Fielded cleanly by our center fielder, brought in into second base. Single there for Mr. McCall.
Nice hit by McCall here. He didn't try to do too much with it, just made contact, floated it over the shortstop's head in the center field, and he'll be on first base. McCall's a threat on those bases. He's got some speed. All these current Cardinal players have some speed, as did the Tigers, so we'll see what we do in the running game here.
Well, I have that it's supposed to be Wise. He bunts straight in the air. Caught by Bond, throws it over to first base. Double play for the Tigers, and we're out of the top of the second inning. A bunt play there that was hit straight into the air, snagged by the pitcher Dawson Bond. He turned and threw it to first base, doubled off the runner there, and the Tigers get out of the top part of the second inning. That's a nice play by the Red Oak Tiger defense there. We'll be back with more baseball action here in just a few minutes. Right, here we go, the bottom of the second inning. A.J. Schmidt coming up, the third baseman for the Tigers. A.J.'s a right-handed hitter. Scoreless now going into the bottom of the second inning. Beautiful night here at Red Oak Legion Field. Come on out and join us if you'd like. Thanks for joining us on the KCSI YouTube channel. First pitch, A.J. Schmidt goes after in a bunt status, but he goes a little bit low. Looks like he fouled that one off.
A.J. off a red-hot start, batting .471, 7 RBIs, leading the team in RBIs. So A.J. getting it done to plate this year so far.
Must have missed that one. They called it a ball. Second one bounces in front of the plate, so A.J.'s ahead on the count, 2-0. Caden Butt, the pitcher, the junior from Clarinda. A.J. takes the third pitch and fouls it over the visiting team dugout on the first base side.
You know, talking to A.J. before the game, he mentioned that, really what he's trying to been doing is keeping the timing, keeping his hands back so he gets that barrel through the zone. And as we speak, he tries to square up and do a bunt.
Yeah, you kind of missed on that one. Yeah, he scored up and missed the pitch coming in. So we're all even on the count now, 2-2 against A.J. Schmidt for the Tigers. Schmidt gets set in the box. Looks like Tuzio's ready for the pitch. Curveball comes in. Schmidt swings at it but doesn't make contact. He goes down to the strikeout for out number one.
But looking real impressive here in the first inning and a half. He's really mixing his pitches well and down low, getting the Tigers to chase a little bit. That's one thing that Coach Harrison talked about, trying to make contact, put the ball in play, do something with the ball at the plate.
Braden Woods, the batter now for the Tigers. He takes a swing at the first pitch and misses, strike one. Braden Woods tonight is playing the catcher for the Tigers. Right-handed hitter. Kind of a taller fella. Kind of unusual to see catchers with such big status. He hits a ground ball out to the shortstop. Shortstop plays it cleanly, throws on to first base, and that's the second out.
Nice play there.
For Clarinda.
Nice play there by Taden Brown.
6-4.
Way to back on that ball. Made a good long throw on the money over there to Tuzio.
Now that's something unusual on this field too, and I think you'll notice it is a lot of people the teams are not used to playing on a grass infield. This grass infield can slow down ground balls real quick, so you have to be kind of careful on how you're going to play it. Next up for the Tigers, Adam Byer, who's a right fielder, number 4. He's a left-handed hitter. Adam takes the first pitch for a ball.
Adam batting .286 on the year.
Swings and hits. He gets a ground ball out to the second baseman. Second baseman fields it cleanly onto first base for the third out of the inning. So 3 up and 3 down again for the Tigers. We're scoreless after 2 complete innings. Live here from Red Oak Legion Field, we got Clarinda and Red Oak varsity baseball action. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
When you go home, you'll feel good about what you did, and you're doing it for the kids. If they don't have us, they don't have these games.
Welcome back to Red Oaks Legion Field. After 2 innings, we're scoreless here with action between the Clarinda Cardinals and your Red Oak Tigers. Dawson Bond taking the mound for the 3rd inning here. They'll lead off by Beckel, and then it'll be the pitcher Butt and the center fielder Engstrand for the Clarinda Cardinals. We've had 1 hit so far by Clarinda in the game, and then that hitter was picked off of first base after the hitter right after him. When Wise bunted into the air, caught by Dawson Bond, he quickly turned and threw it to first base to double off McCall at the end of the last inning.
Yeah, the Tigers really been aggressive in that last half inning, really looking to be aggressive on the first pitch count, swinging. Cardinals here getting a 3rd crack at Dawson Bond, and to 7, 8, and 9 batters in the Cardinal lineup coming up this inning.
First pitch by Dawson Bonds fouled straight back for the first strike. Beckel's wearing number 5. He's a right-handed hitter. Also plays third base. You know who I'm thinking of, Matt. Number 5, third base.
Does he have pine tar on his back?
The left-handed hitter was my favorite guy, and that's Mr. George Brett from the Kansas City Royals. Second pitch comes in and hits Beckel in the batter's box. He'll take first base on a hit by pitch.
Yeah, trying to go up and in on him a little bit there, and just not intentional, of course, but just trying to get that pitch up and in, and clips him on the shoulder and be down on first base.
Brings up Caden Butt, the pitcher for the Clarinda Cardinals, number 32. He's a left-handed hitter. He's got a runner at first base to work with. Let's see what the Clarinda Cardinals have put together for an offensive plan here. Dawson Bond turns to the throw to first base, and the runner's back.
You know, talking to Chase Road before the game, working on that footwork, learning that footwork at the first base. There's a good pickoff throw.
Ooh, almost got him there. A lot closer on that one than it was before. Sorry, Mom, going to have a little laundry to do tonight. He's got quite a bit of dirt on that uniform now. Here comes the pitch. Bunt attempt, but fouled straight back. Butt tried to do a little bunt there to move the runner over, but fouled off the pitch.
Schmidt coming hard down, crashing hard down from the third base position.
So we got a count of no balls and 1 strike against the pitcher. Next pitch comes the curveball, calls right in there for a called strike. 0-2. 0-2 against the pitcher, Caden Butt. Runner at first base, taking a nice lead off there. Dawson Bond's keeping an eye on him. Throws over there just to keep him honest. Back safely, no problem. Dawson Bond looks in, gets a sign from the catcher. Here comes the pitch, comes in, swing, and fouled off the first base side by Caden Butt.
Dawson
0-2.
Dawson came pretty quick on that. Thought he might always come to a set position. He was pretty quick on that set position there. He hasn't had a lot of base runners he had to pitch with so far this year.
Right. Got the base umpire right behind and watching to make sure there isn't anything. And a swing and a miss by Caden Butt goes down as a strikeout. So the first out is a strikeout by Dawson Bond. Still runner at first base. Brings up the center fielder, number 4, Cade Engstrand. He's a senior for the Clarinda Cardinals. Right-handed hitter. Throws over. Ooh, nice throw over by Bond, but just a little bit off target. And they had the runner wasn't paying a lot of attention, but he made it back safely. Next pitch comes in. Looks like they were going to try a bunt. Throw down to second, and the runner's going to be in safe. Throw not in time. So
Cardinals are 17 of 17 in stolen bases of the team this year, so they've yet to be thrown out on the base paths.
I believe the first pitch was called a strike. No indication.
He's getting a good lead off second here, too, as well.
Swing and a miss there. I believe he's down 0-2 on the hitter. Or he's up 0-2 on the hitter. Runner at second base is Mr. Beckel, the third baseman. Engstrand is the batter. He takes a pitch high for ball 1.
Engstrand, the 9-hole hitter for the Cardinals, batting .091 on the year.
Dawson Bond looks in, checks the runner at second base, and comes in. The pitch into home plate. Called strike right there, so that must have just not been a strike the first pitch. We just have the count now of 2-2. 1 out, 2-2. Runner on second for the Clarinda Cardinals. We are in the top of the third inning. Pitch comes in, it's curveball, swung and a miss by Engstrand. That's another strikeout for Mr. Bond.
4 strikeouts tonight for Dawson, and then go back to the top lineup, Taden Brown. 636 batting average, so this is a big matchup right here, Danny, a big key moment early in the game.
Brown was up in the first inning, had a fly out to the second baseman in the first inning for the first out of the game. Runner at second takes the lead off. Pitch comes in, curveball called strike. So it's 0-1 for Dawson Bond against Caden Brown.
Caden, I think, was looking for something hard on fast on that, and he's got the change up on the first pitch. See if Dawson comes back something hard here. Another curve.
Another curveball and called a strike, so he's up on him 0-2.
You know, like you mentioned, Danny, these guys have played against each other so much all the way from, you know, club baseball, so they all know each other and how they like to hit, what they don't want to hit, and so far it's been 2 off-speed stuff. There's gas.
Bond comes in with a fastball, strikes out Brown for the third out of the third inning. That makes, 5 strikeouts now.
He struck out the side.
There you go. Good morning, good afternoon, good night from Mr. Bond one more time. We'll be back. We are scoreless from Red Oak Legion Field with Clarinda and Red Oak. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors. We're back here at Red Oaks Legion Park with varsity baseball action between the Clarinda Cardinals visiting here at the Red Oak Tigers Field. Thank you for joining us here on the KCSI YouTube channel. Make sure you put in a comment there. Tell us how we're doing, what you think tonight. Off the third inning here, bottom of the third inning, leading off would be Brody Bond, our second baseman. Brody is a sophomore, and he's going to step up for the first time in the game here tonight. He's a right-handed hitter. I like the way the Brody approaches when he's up there bat. That bat sits up high and is ready to go. First pitch to him comes up a little short for ball number 1.
Yosemite, California, Dan.
Yosemite, California. Welcome.
Hey,
thanks for joining us. That's awesome.
Grinnell.
Yeah, and I have to tell you, our weather right now is kind of like California weather. We're out here on the stoop from the football field and really enjoying a beautiful night. Pitch number 2 comes in a little short, too, and Brody Bond is up on the count. 2 balls, no strikes. Nobody out. No score here in the bottom of the third inning. Thank you for joining us once again. Make sure you leave those comments and know where you're calling in from. Third pitch to Brody Bond is in there for a called strike. So the count is 2 balls, 1 strike against Brody Bond. As you can hear the wind in the background, we're enjoying the nice outside weather and a little bit of a breeze blowing out of the south. Second pitch comes in. Bond puts a bat on it and knocks it off foul off the third base side. He'll come back, go at it again with a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Like I said, you can see some discipline in the way he hits, the way he holds his bat, the way he approaches his batting. And always can tell when a batter will foul mouth both ways or straight back, you know, how he is on the pitch. He was a little bit ahead on that one. Brody Bond getting ready to see his 5th pitch. Curveball comes in. He was a little bit out in front of it, and he goes down on strikes with a swing for the first out.
Nice pitch there by Caden Budd, and he's got 3 strikeouts himself on the night. So far, just a great performance here from Caden in his first pitching debut, as far as we know, for this year.
Number 19 for the Tigers steps up the left fielder, Cale Hall. Cale Hall is a right-handed batter. He's batting for the first time in the game here in the bottom of the third inning.
Cale's a freshman, I believe.
Yeah. Takes a pitch on the outside corner for strike number 1. Looks down to the coach for the sign, see what he needs to do here.
You look at that Red Oak lineup, Danny. Got 5 seniors at the top, and then you got freshmen, sophomores at the bottom 4 spots.
Yeah.
So you kind of have a mix there between the young and the old and experienced players.
A little ahead of that pitch, he's down 0-2. He's looking for some heat there, and he got a curveball and was clear out in front of that one. So let's see how he adjusts here. Pitch comes in a little bit inside, takes for a ball, so count on him as 1-2.
Good take there by Cale on that pitch in the dirt, then offer at it.
It's a good thing to see, especially with the younger players, that they can recognize those pitches out of the pitches and where they're coming from, out of the pitcher's hand, and what they need to do with it. Another pitch, a little bit on the outside this time, so he evens up the count at 2-2 for Cale Hall, our left fielder.
The Tigers take a few more pitches here this inning than last inning.
Need to get a little bit of experience, see what the pitch is all about. Nice fastball comes in. Hale fouls it off just at the last minute. Cale Hall, excuse me. Goes to show that he's got a little bit of experience with that bat in his hand, and that's good to see. That's good to see. He's recognizing the pitches. He's seeing the pitch good. He just needs to know what to do with it here. Nice hit there. Goes out to the second baseman. Fields it cleanly, brings on to first, and throws out Hall at first base for the second out of the inning.
Nice play there from McCall. Just kind of fielded nicely and got it over to first base for the out.
Brings up the shortstop, number 14, Mr. Brett Erickson. Brett is a sophomore this year and a pretty well-seasoned baseball player now for the part of the program. Brett got a lot of playing time last year and is doing really well for the Tigers this year.
Brett also we'll see him on pitching mound quite a bit this year as well. And
first pitch of fastball is low for ball one.
Of course, the son of head coach Mark Erickson.
Watch Brett grow up playing baseball, and I tell you what, he's exciting. He's going to do great things. Second pitch comes in a little bit on the inside for 2 balls. Let's see what Brett can do with a 2-0 count here. Pitcher is ready. Brings in the left-handed pitch. A little bit low that time for a 3-0 count. He looked down to Dad, coaching third base, trying to get a sign of what he wants him to do.
We got a field full of Ericksons.
Yeah.
Mark coaching at third and his brother Steve at first. And
that's right.
And
next pitch comes in as a called strike. Count now 3-1 against Brett Erickson. 2 down now, no score in the bottom of the third inning here from Red Oaks Legion Field. Next call comes in as a called strike. That evens up the count, or makes the count 3-2.
Butt comes back here now, gets the count back to 3-2 to even it out here.
Let's see what Brett does with the pitch here. Comes in, looks like a low pitch, and Mr. Erickson's going to get a free base.
Tigers' first base runner of the evening. They draw a walk here, so bring over the top of the lineup now. Go to Chase Roeder. Chase ground out to third base, first to bat.
Chase Roeder, our first baseman. He's a senior this year. We'll see what he can do to move Brett Erickson around for first base. Brett takes a nice lead off look from the pitcher. Pitch comes in, nice drive right up the middle. That's a base hit. Erickson goes to second base, and he's going to hold there. So we got runners at first and second with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning. Nice hit there by Chase Roeder.
Yeah, just a nice stroke right up the middle there, and saw a pitch he liked and got all over it, and that brings up Landon Kaus here. Landon striked out last time, and Landon can do some damage here.
Landon Kaus, like we said before, is a left-handed batter, center fielder tonight for the Tigers. It's an interesting time of night because the sun is setting. We finally get it out from behind the clouds. Makes it a little bit of a challenge for those left-handed hitters because you kind of look right into it.
Yeah, he's got a left-hand pitcher on the mound and looking into the sun. So 2 things working against Landon here.
Takes an outside pitch for ball number 1. Here comes the second pitch to Kaus. It's called a strike. Evens up the count 1-1. 2 outs now in the bottom of the third inning. Runners at first and second for the Tigers. We've got Brett Erickson out at second and Chase Roeder at first base. Landon Kaus count 1-1. Next pitch comes in short for a ball.
Nice stop there by Wagner.
Yeah.
At the keep the runners at base there and prevented advancement.
So important, especially for high school baseball. You got to have a good catcher that can make a stop. Another called strike there against Kaus. So that evens up the count to 2-2. 2 outs, 2 across the board here. 2 runners on, 2 outs, 2-2 count from Landon Kaus for the Red Oak Tigers. Pitcher comes ready, checks the runners, brings in the pitch. Curveball is super high, way over his head.
Yeah, another nice catch there by Wagner. He had to go up the ladder to get that one.
I guess there is an advantage having a catcher that tall, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, some height is. You typically don't see tall catchers, but
no, that's good.
There you go.
Next pitch comes in. Pitch is low. That's going to be a walk for Landon Kaus. Bags are full of Tigers now. Runner at every base, and that's going to bring up Dawson Bond.
So you got Erickson at third, Roeder at second, Kaus at first, and Bond, he lined out to right field his first time up. So this is the key moment of the game right here, Dan. The Tigers get the bags full, but 2 outs. So something's got to give here.
Looking for a signal from the coach. Looks back. Gets ready to come into the plate. Like I said, right-handed hitter. Dawson's going to look from the left-handed pitcher from Clarinda. First pitch comes in low. Is going to go back, and it hits him. It hits him. It's going to get Bond his base. That's going to bring in a run for the Tigers as the bases were loaded. Dawson Bond's going to get a hit by pitch. First base, and brings up A.J. Schmid.
Hard way to earn an RBI, but nonetheless an RBI for Dawson Bond. Tigers break on top 1-0.
And you know Dawson, like I did, that's not the way he wanted to get it, but he will take the run for his team and go down to first base.
A.J. Schmidt now.
Pitch is high for Schmidt. Comes in, ball number 1. Schmidt tonight playing third base for the Tigers, number 3. Struck out in the second inning. He hits a ground ball, bounces out to second base to pick it up. Step on second base for the third out of the inning. Well, the Tigers score 1 run on a hit by a pitch on 4 bases, and the score after 3 innings now is Red Oak Tigers 1, Clarinda Cardinals 0. We'll be back after a few words from our sponsors.
Time I need a dependable place to get equipment for my ag business, I go to Whip Sales and Service. Always have.
Hey, Dad, this ATV's incredible.
And once my son saw they have ATVs and quads, well, he became a second-generation satisfied customer.
Since 1976, Whip Sales and Service has been serving southwestern Iowa and northwest Missouri with premium commercial ag equipment, grain haulers, tractors, and lots more. We also cover your weekends with ATVs, UTVs, quads, and top-notch mowers. Located in Clarinda, Iowa, where we stay small but sell big.
We're going into the 4th inning here at the Red Oak Legion Park. Tigers are up 1-0.
Hey, Sue Ann Krause is saying thanks for the live stream. I'm getting a little coaching here from Mr. Bowie, Bo Bowie, helping me with a little technical
That's great.
issue here.
Thanks, Bo.
So,
we appreciate it. We're all trying new stuff here, so we appreciate it.
Bo's down in the truck. He's down in the production
down
truck.
In the truck. He's who we go to for the replays,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, he's helping with some technical stuff. Appreciate it, Bo.
Awesome.
We did tell the umpires if there's any on-field reviews, they can come up to us, and we'll be glad to make the call for them.
Easy with those technical things there, Matt. We're
doing a replay for them. Of course, they need to bring up a hot dog when they come with them. Maybe that'll help out. Decide why we're going to do it there.
Gene Butt is watching as well. Thanks for watching, Gene.
Hi, Gene.
It might be, I don't know, the mom or grandma of Caden Butt, but he's pitched a heck of a game so far.
Looks like Wagner, the catcher, is now up for Clarinda here, leading off the top of the 4th inning. Pitch from Dawson Bond is a curveball. Falls a little short for ball 1.
I guess started talking, fellas, and not paying attention to what I'm doing.
Yeah, pay attention there, technically.
Wagner watched the 3rd strike, his first time up in the 1st inning. We'll see what he does here. Bond comes to the next pitch, and there's a drive out to left field. Camped under it is the left fielder. He brings it in for the first out of the inning.
Cale Hall out there on that catch.
Thanks, Cale. Good job. Good play. Fly out to 7.
Cardinals have had some sharp hits off Dawson so far. They just haven't. They've got the 1 hit, I believe, on the night so far. Here's Weedman.
Brings up number 8, Ronnie Weedman. Ronnie is a senior. Tonight he is playing right field. 1st inning, he grounded out from 2nd to 1st. Ground ball to second base for the 3rd out of the 1st inning. Pitch from Dawson Bond comes in. It is a called strike.
It seems like Dawson's going at off speed because I haven't seen him pitch a lot, but it seems like he's going at off speed more so tonight, mixing his pitches really well at this point. There's a
next
gas.
pitch comes in. Gas and the swing and nothing there.
You know, when you throw that off-speed stuff, Danny, and then you come back with that gas, it makes it look even more
That's right.
hard to hit because you're just mixing it.
Bond's next pitch comes in a little bit low on the outside there. Evens up the count 2-2.
Who's a guy in the major leagues throwing 104 the other day? You see that? He was averaging 102, 103. I can't even imagine that.
Wow. He's something else. High pitch for that one. That's going to bring out the count to 3-2 now against Weedman. Full count here. Let's see what Dawson Bond decides to do with him. He's set for the pitch, steps off the rubber as the batter backs out of the batter's box.
We've off to a hot start. He was 571 coming into the game, so he's been.
Gas comes in, called 3rd strike as he watches another 3rd strike go by, and that's what strikeout number 6 for Bond, correct?
That is correct. And here's Creighton Tuzio. He struck out last time up as well.
Tuzio, number 34. He's a junior for the Clarinda. Watches a curveball come in from called strike number 1. Dawson Bond is in total control of the game right here. He's pitching his game. He knows what he wants to do. And there's another one, a little slower off-speed pitch, but it was also committed for a strike.
Tuzio's a tall guy, and he's got a little bit higher strike zone, so.
Got a lot to work with there.
So that ball was a little bit above Braden Woods' head, but still called a strike.
Bond comes in a little bit high on that one for the first ball. Count 1-2 against Tuzio.
That's one thing, as a pitcher, you adjust to the tall player or a shorter player, wherever that strike zone is at.
Comes in, fastball a little bit outside there for a call for a ball. 2-2 is the count.
Dawson has not gone to a full count yet tonight on the batter. Been pretty economical in this pitching so far.
Comes in. Ooh, called.
And we're going to go full count.
It was an off-speed pitch there.
That's a knee
looked
buckler
pretty
right
close.
there.
Yeah, because he was knee buckle, but it was called a ball. So we've got a full count now against Tuzio. Bond gets ready, sets, and fires. So, fastball, Tuzio swings and misses. That's another strikeout. Number 7 for Dawson Bond. Right now, after 3.5 innings, our score is Red Oak Tigers 1, Clarinda 0. We'll be back after a few words from our sponsors.
Welcome back. Thanks to everyone for watching online. We appreciate it. Thanks for everyone commenting as well. Thanks for the compliments. What do you think, Matt?
Like to hear where you're from. So you can listen.
We got Yosemite, California, Grinnell, Red Oak, Iowa,
well,
Clarinda, Iowa. So
good deal.
We have a lot. You know, and one thing I want to, Dan, go back to the pregame. You mentioned about the great legacy of Clarinda A's and that program, all the great ball players. You know, Red Oak, for a period of time there, had a Red Oak team in that league. And Craig Counsell, current manager of the Milwaukee Brewers, played for 2 summers here for the Red Oak Red Sox.
Right here on this field.
Yep.
Right here on this field. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was quite a few years ago, but I remember it like it was yesterday. That's going to lead us off. And Woods, the catcher, is leading off for the Tigers. He's going to take the first pitch for ball number 1.
Woody batting. Like I say, Woody's taking over that catching spot for the Tigers this year and done a great job so far. Batting .316
Second pitch comes in. He gets a bat on it, but knocks it off foul off the third base side. Caden Butt, the pitcher for the Clarinda, has him evened up at 1-1. Nobody out here. Bottom of the 4th inning, Red Oak leads the game 1-0. Beautiful night here at Red Oak Legion Field. Sun's going down, nice breeze, nice night to watch baseball. Next pitch comes in, and hits the lip of the infield, bounces over the shortstop's head into left field, and Woody has a base hit.
Yeah, that says the shortstop thing here. I don't got it. It's right over your head. It takes like you said, I don't know if it hit the lip or the grass and the dirt infield, but popped right over Tatum Brown's head, and Woody will take it. It's a line drive tomorrow.
That's right. That's right. It's a beautiful hit tomorrow because that's all that matters. Adam Beyer now the batter for the Tigers. Adam grounded out to second baseman his first time up for the 3rd out of the 2nd inning.
Adam batting .286 on the year, .412 on base percentage. So that tells me he's doing a good job up there.
Sophomore left-hander for the Tigers. He's looking for the first pitch, checking out the runner. Here comes the pitch. Comes in a little bit of load in the zone, but the umpire called it a strike. So 0-1 on a called strike to Adam Beyer. Pitcher's ready. Gets in, looks in for the sign. Checking the runner at first base. Woody's out there getting a little small lead off of first base, but here comes the pitch coming in, and it hits Beyer. Beyer hit by the pitch is going to take a free base, so we're going to have runners at first and second base here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Again, nothing intentional, just trying to come up and in on him and got away from him a little bit, and Adam took one off the shoulder, and he'll move on down to first base. So Tigers are nobody out here. First 2 batters get on base, first and second. They got something going here. Had a chance to break this game open a little bit.
Brody Bond stepping up. Number 7, he's the second baseman for the Tigers. We got runners at first and second. Woods at second, Beyer at first. Bond struck out in the 2nd inning for the first out of the 2nd inning. Umpire halts play for a second. Gets things reset on the field, and now we're ready to go.
Janelle Erickson listening and watching as well.
Good deal.
From Legion Park?
No, she's actually somewhere else, I guess. So and thanks. So thanks for watching.
Brody Bond attempting a bunt there and fouls it off for strike number 1.
Coach Erickson had the bunt on there, trying to get the sacrifice down here. Let's see if he keeps that on here. Clarinda Beckel playing in from his third base position here.
Look down here and see Chris Finasno down here watching the game like he always does. Chris does a fantastic job helping keep our fields and everything in good condition here. Brody Bond offers it a second pitch and misses on the bunt, and that gets it count 0-2.
Of course, Butt knows he wants to bunt, so that was a high fastball, and those are hard to get down, and Brody was not able, so 2 strikes now.
Next pitch comes in a little bit low, so a count of 1-2 against Brody Bond. Of course, he's going to have to change his approach a little bit. Usually don't keep the bunt on when they have 2 strikes on.
Even hitting the ball the other way here in this situation, Dan, if you just make contact, get over that right side field, they'll move the runners over.
That could be why the pitcher brought the next pitch in down low again, because he knows he wants to move that pitch. It's kind of hard to hit those when they're down in the zone to put them where you want to. Count 2-2 against Brody Bond here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Next pitch comes in. Bond gets a hit and gets a bat on it. Pitcher throws it over to third base. The third baseman can't handle it. We're going to have bags full of Tigers here as the third baseman cannot catch the throw, and the runner at third, Mr. Woods, is going to be safe.
Yeah,
Bond is in on a fielder's choice.
It was a comeback to the pitcher, Butt, and he rushed his throw to third. Danny threw it in the dirt, and Beckel tried to field it out of the dirt, couldn't get it, and by the time he recovered the ball, Woody slid in there. So, yeah, you're right. The bags are packed here on that error. Get the error on the throw there from the pitcher.
Brings up number 19, Cale Hall for the Tigers. He is a freshman player, right-handed hitter. Cale grounded out to second base this first time up. He puts down a bunt, but it goes just foul. Nice bunt. Deadened it right at the plate. Would made it so the catcher would have had to make the play.
Cale's got some tremendous speed, so if he gets one down here, it's going to be a bang-made play at first.
He's going to meet with Coach Erickson down a little bit down the third base line here just to make sure they're clarified on the signals, make sure that he knows what they're going to do.
What's going on here, Danny, the Tigers here at the bottom part of their lineup trying to produce some runs. If you can get some runs out of the bottom part of your lineup, boy, that's a huge thing. And Hall's your number 8 batter, so if he can do something productive here, get a run home some way with a bunt or a fly ball or something.
And the whole game changes when you got all bags full of Tigers here. They're all anxious to get around there and make the score bigger for the Red Oak Tigers. We'll see what Hall takes here for a pitch now that he
Cardinals playing their infield in.
Nice stroke on the ball. Went over the first base side this time.
And with that infield in, Danny, that just, as you know, as a batter, that gives you so much more opportunities to get a hit. But you can almost, when that infield in, you have to have the ball hit right at the infield here. So anything with a ball, bat contact here up in the air is going to likely get a run home.
Next pitch comes in. That's a called third strike against Hall. He's going to take a seat after watching that third pitch come in for a call.
Looks like
that's our first out for the bottom of the 4th inning. We still got runners first, second, and third for the Tigers. Brings up Brett Erickson.
Big out there. That was Butt's 4th strikeout on the night. So Erickson up here now, and Clarinda moves back to their infield looking for double play here.
Brett Erickson, a smart hitter. He reached by a walk the first inning and came around to score. Got a lot of confidence in Brett. I know that he'll do what he can with the situation here. First pitch comes in a little bit low, called ball 1 for Erickson. None of the runners look like they're advancing too much farther, kind of playing it safe.
Yeah, Clarinda kind of playing halfway in their defense, Danny, not fully back, and they're up a little bit here.
The outfield is in quite a ways, though. That's interesting.
There's a base hit.
That's a nice base hit over into right field. That's going to score 1 for the Tigers. Throw comes into home plate, and that's all they're going to get. However, nice base hit by Brett Erickson. That's an RBI for the young man. And brings the score to 2-0 for the Tigers.
Didn't try to do too much with that pitch, Danny. Just went with it, stroked to the opposite field, got the run home. Woody comes home, scored. Bags remain full for the Tigers. They're going to keep that line moving here if they can.
Brings up Chase Roeder for the Tigers. Chase has grounded out to third and got a single in the game so far.
1 out. Bags full. 2-0 Red Oak.
First pitch comes in low. Stopped by the catcher. This catcher may be a freshman, but he's doing a good job being a backstop there for the Clarinda Cardinals.
Yeah, just really impressed with him. He's done a good job. Wagner has it on the plate tonight, so for the Cardinals.
Let's see what they're going to do here. Bags full of Tigers, only 1 out. Chase Roeder at the plate. Chase is waiting for the pitch. Comes in, offers at the pitch, and fouls it off the first base side. I'm not in the press box. I got to get reoriented where I'm at up here. Got to find out where to go there. It sure is nice to see the nice crowd here tonight. Thank you for showing up out here and supporting the Red Oak Tigers and their varsity baseball action. And thank you for joining us on the KCSI YouTube channel. Next pitch comes in. Looks like it. He got hit. It hit Roeder. That's going to bring in a run. Makes the score 3-0 for the Tigers.
Another hard-earned RBI there. As Byer comes in to score the third run.
As Landon Kels approaches the plate, we're going to call a timeout here on the field.
Yeah, there's been Butts, this is, like I said, this is, as far as we know, his first time on the mound this season, and the young man, has been out there pitching now to the fourth inning, and this will be his third time through the lineup, Danny, and you know how it is when you get that third time through that lineup. It's
right.
The batters have got a good feel for you, and
they've seen the pitches. They know what they're looking for. They know what they're going to be focusing on and what they can do with each pitch. And, of course, the batter's going to be thinking about where do I need to put the ball to score the maximum amount of offense we can. And we'll see what Mr. Kaus does here. Struck out in the first inning, then he got a walk in the third. This will be his third time up to bat tonight. Once again, our score 3-0 Tigers. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning here at Red Oak Legion Park, and a beautiful night for baseball here in Red Oak. Here comes the pitch. Kaus swings.
Oh.
Line drive to the first baseman.
Double play.
He called a double play. First baseman caught the line drive, reached out and tagged the base before the runner could get back, so they've doubled off the runner to first base. So after 4 complete innings, your score here at Red Oak Legion Field, Red Oak Tigers 3, Clarinda Cardinals 0. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
CR Graphics has a new owner. Hi, this is Carter Bruce, the new owner of CR Graphics. I look forward to serving all of Southwest Iowa for your custom design needs. Our services include customizable apparel, banners, yard signs, magnets, car decals, window stickers, posters, and more. We are your one-stop shop for all your graphic design needs. The possibilities are endless. Stop by CR Graphics, located at 101 North Broadway in Red Oak, and see how we can help you or your business out. CR Graphics, your graphic design center in Red Oak.
Welcome back. Matt?
Dan?
Yeah.
I went to Chicago this weekend.
Okay, tell me about that.
So, I look at the schedule at the beginning of the season and say I pick some games I think the Cubs can win, and my daughter and I go in there.
Yep.
Pick the Cincinnati Reds.
Okay.
Go in there.
Pretty safe bet.
3 games.
Mm-hmm.
Cubs lost all 3 by a combined score 35-11.
What happened?
I don't know. Driving home from Chicago, we were listening to the Cub game. The next day after we left, they're playing the Tampa Bay Rays, who's the best team in baseball.
Yep.
Cubs win 1-0 on a shutout. Now tell me, how does that happen in baseball?
They got your money, didn't they?
Out in Chicago, I met a Red Oak grad, Brad Doolittle.
Nice.
Doolittle, ESPN baseball writer.
Right.
Good to catch up with Brad, and he just does a phenomenal job covering baseball for Major League Baseball for ESPN, and had a chance to catch up with him.
Good deal.
He's just has such an understanding of the game of baseball at the Major League level, and it was refreshing to talk to him. So
good deal.
He might even be listening from Chicago tonight.
Okay, Clarinda leads off with their second baseman, McCall. He takes a half swing and a pitch in the dirt. Now they're going to call that a strike. Yep, they are. This will count 0-1. McCall grounded back to the pitcher in the second inning for the third out of the second inning. 0-1. Here comes the next pitch. Fouls it up in the air.
AJ.
Third baseman calling for it. A.J. Schmidt has it, and that's your first out of the inning. We're going to pop out to third base with McCall. Like I said, your score is 4-0 Red Oak Tigers over Clarinda Cardinals. 3-0 Red Oak Tigers over the Clarinda Cardinals. We are in the top of the fifth inning. Game is moving right along here. It's going to bring up number 11 on his back, number 12 in our program, Wise. He's going to take a hack at the first pitch and come up empty. He's a left fielder. 0-1 is the count on Wise.
To this point, Clarinda's only had 2 base runners, Dan. 1 hit given up by Dawson Bond and 1 hit by pitch.
Bond brings in a curveball that time. It's fouled off over the first base side, and the catcher over in the bullpen for Clarinda catches the ball, but unfortunately that's out of play, and so it's not going to count. Bond ready for the next pitch. Here he comes. Fastball fouled off again off the first base side.
Talking to Coach Erickson, Dan, he had that 17 strikeouts last game against Crescent. We don't know, but that almost has to be a school record, Dan. I'm not smart, but 7 times 3 is 21 batters in a game, a high school game, and that's 17 of them. Seems like that might be a school record.
Pretty efficient use, isn't it? A.J. Schmidt goes after the ground ball, but it comes out of his glove. That's going to make Wise reach base.
I think you got to credit a hit on that. A.J. really had a range far to his left on that. Got a glove on it, but just couldn't hold on to it. Wise, good speed, get down the baseline, so he's on base.
Clarinda's on. Got a base runner on first base, 1 out here in the top of the fifth inning. brings up Beckel, the third baseman, number 5. Beckel was hit by a pitch in the third inning. Got on base. Had a stolen base, but died there at the end of the inning. Runner at first, 1 out. Top of the 5th inning, Dawson Bond pitch. Next one comes in, called strike right there. It's going to make your count 1-1 against Beckel. 1 out. Top of the 5th inning, Tigers lead 3-0. Quick pitch, quick throw over to first base. Runner gets back just in time.
See head coach Tiger football Michael Nordine. Of course, we know Michael is a Philadelphia Phillies baseball fan.
Swinging a pitch by Beckel. He's the one to count as 1-2. Retrieving foul balls tonight, apparently, for Coach Nordine. That's awesome. Good to see you, Coach. And another throw over to first. Keep that runner honest over there. 1 ball, 2 strikes is the call against Beckel.
Oh, base
nice
hit.
Little floater right over the third baseman's head. That makes him runner. He's going to come around from second base, come into third, and he's going to slide in safely. Runners at first and third as Beckel gets a nice single, moving the runner to third base.
You bet. He just, did not try to do too much with it, Dan. He just wanted the bat on the ball and lofted it just over A.J. Schmidt's head down the third base line, and Wise comes around second, gets in the third. So the Cardinals have something going here. First and third, 1 out, and Caden Butt will now come to the plate for the Cardinals.
Butt is a left-handed hitter, just like he is a left-handed pitcher. Got runners at first and third, 1 out here against Clarinda in the top of the 5th. Bond's pitch first comes in low for ball 1. See what the Clarinda does here as far as maybe a delayed steal, a double steal, what they might have planned here.
Big chance for the Cardinals here to get right back in this game, Danny.
Bond brings the next pitch in, and it's a called strike. Count 1-1. Could be some action here. Like I said, a left-handed hitter. We'll see what he does. Bond is going right after him, throws over to third base. The runner is back in time.
Schmidt playing right on that bag at third base. They're really trying to limit that lead of that runner on third base.
Bond set again. Here comes the pitch. Curveball swung at and missed by the pitcher, but moves the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Tigers playing normal depth here in the infield.
Bond set the pitch. Looks in, gets the sign. Brings a fastball, but swings and misses. He's going to be out number 2 with a strikeout. And I believe that's number 8?
Number 8, and brings up number 9 batter, Ingstrom, who struck out last time. So, chance
runners
here.
Runners at first and third. Score is Red Oak 3.
And there goes a runner.
Runner's taken off from first base. They're watching him. See what they're going to do here.
We're going to probably not be watching him play at home. Yeah, good play there by the Cardinals. They kind of deked the Tigers into that. They went with that delayed steal the second, Danny, and Dawson did properly, ran towards the runner there, made the throw to second, and when that throw went to second, the runner off third, Wise broke for home plate and made it in safely, and that is the art of stealing a run right there, Dan.
It makes your game 3-1 Tigers now in the top of the 5th inning. Dawson Bond brings home the pitch. Tries a bunt there by the center fielder Ingstrand and fouls it off the first base side.
And that's one thing, you learn those situations in baseball there, but the Cardinals taking that with their ninth hole batter up here trying to generate a run. Coach Eberle, good play call there.
It shows your experience there and knowing the game. Next pitch comes in, swing and a miss. Count 0-2 against Ingstrand, the center fielder. 3-1 Tigers, top of the 5th inning. Runner at second base for Clarinda. Ooh,
close play there.
Close play at second base, so the runner had to get back.
Clarinda's 18 for 18 for stolen bases on here, so this is a good base running team, and that's a team that understands situational baseball.
Pitch comes a little bit inside now. We count as 1-2 against Ingstrand, the center fielder for Clarinda. He's a senior, right-handed batter. Struck out first time he was up to bat in the 3rd inning. He swings at this and comes up empty this time for the 3rd out. That's a strikeout number 9 for Dawson Bond. We are going to go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Your score, Red Oak Tigers 3, Clarinda Cardinals 1. We'll be back after a few words from our sponsors.
Look, I'm not the kind of person that needs a trophy every time I do a good deed, but I like rewards as much as the next guy. That's why I got a sensible checking account at Bank Iowa. I can earn 10 cents cash back on purchases made with my debit card monthly with no limits on the amount I earn back. Plus, I get free online banking and identity theft protection. All I have to do is keep $100 in the account and receive e-statements. Basically, I'm getting rewarded by Bank Iowa for saving trees and buying stuff. Visit your local Bank Iowa location to learn about our sensible checking account option or read more online at bankiowa.bank, member FDIC.
Welcome back, Aaron West and Matt Davis.
This is the
What?
5th inning stretch.
Yes.
Fifth inning stretch. That's right here. We got to play 7 innings in Iowa high school baseball, so we have the stretch in the 5th inning. Entertained by Mr. Harry Carey over the loudspeakers singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. And this is the brutal time of night, Matt. As you can see, the sun's setting. If you're a left-handed batter, you're looking right into that sun trying to get our
There's a
focus.
little strip of sunlight just hitting right through the home plate.
No problem for Red Oak, though, as the first hitter is Mr. Dawson Bond, our pitcher for tonight. 8 strikeouts for Dawson Bond so far tonight. He seemed to be in total control. And with the 3-1 lead, he leads us off in the bottom of the 5th inning for the Tigers. A little brutal for the outfielders there, too. The outfielders got to look a little bit into that sun. The right fielders looking into it the most. Makes it a little tough.
Dawson 0 for 2 tonight at the plate.
There's a bunt. He lays it down. Nice bunt. Played perfectly.
He's gonna
go down. He's going to get a single out of that. Dawson very fast and put the bunt. And like I said, it got onto that infield grass and just died right there. Infield signal for a bunt for Dawson Bond. He's on first base and nobody out.
And I think you're going to see Dawson down at second base here, or at least making an attempt real quick.
A.J. Smith's up. He struck out in the 2nd inning. Let's see what he can do to move Dawson around a little bit. Third baseman for the Tigers wears number 3. He's a right-handed batter. First pitch comes into Schmidt. He goes at a bunt, but comes up empty, but it's called a strike. 0-1 for A.J. Schmidt.
But
Dawson Bond, your runner at first base.
But the left-hand pitcher, so he's looking right at Dawson at first base. Good leg kick there.
Fouled straight back for strike number 2 for A.J. Schmidt. Count 0-2 on him. Makes it a little tricky for that first base runner. He's got to watch those feet of the pitcher and see if he's going to come with him with a pickoff attempt or if he's taking the pitch back. Quick throw over to first base. Bond gets back in time. Didn't even get to the rubber that time. He just went quick through over there. Thought maybe he'd catch Bond sleeping. Bond takes a nice lead off first base. He's got the full attention of the pitcher. Comes home. Pitch to Schmidt. He comes up empty. Bond's coming down to second base, and he's got a successful stolen base. He'll reach second base. Schmidt strikes out on the swinging strike for out number 1. Going to bring up the catcher, number 15, Mr. Woods.
Braden Woods 1 for 2 on the night. Had a single last time up, so Braden has a chance here to drive in Bond with a single or a hit of some sort here. Cardinals playing halfway on their infield defense.
Dawson Bond with a stolen base on that. First pitch to Woods is a called strike in the outside corner for strike number 1, 0-1.
Really impressed with Caden Budd. If this is their 3 starter, I'm not saying he is, I'm not sure, but man, just really impressed with this young man.
Not so much his velocity, but this is his presence on the mound and where he's been able to place the pitches is the main thing.
He's got a good move to first base, and like you said, Dan, he's got good composure out there, and there's a big hit. Fly ball.
Fly ball comes out to the right center field, brought in by the right fielder. Bond acts like he's going to take off, and nice throw in from the right fielder after the catch there. Fly out for Woods to the right fielder.
Weedman with a nice play out there. Had to come in hard on that, Danny, and make the catch on the run, and then in a good throwing motion, got the ball in, a good peg into third base there to keep Dawson at second base here.
That brings up the left-hitting right fielder, Adam Byer.
Two outs now. Adam was hit by a pitch last time up, so lefty-on-lefty match here.
Dawson Bond at second base. Byer offers the first pitch and comes up empty, strike 1. See what he can do to move Dawson around here a little bit. Left-handed hitter. Hooks in there. He can put one down the first base line, being an easily score for Bond. Bond has got the full attention of Caden Budd. I'm here to tell you, he's looked out and stepped off the rubber a couple different times.
Brown at shortstop's really shading the second base, too. There's a big hole over here, and there goes Bond. And
pitch comes in low. It's called a ball, and Bond has a successful stolen base at third base. And he is now at third base with 2 out.
Yeah, no throw there as Wagner dropped the pitch on that. So we've got a count. What's the count, Dan? 1-1. Let's count.
I believe it's 1-1.
1-1's here, so Byers got a chance here.
Next pitch comes in a little bit high for ball number 2. Count 2-1 against Adam Byer. Dawson Bond at third base, 2 outs. In the bottom of the 5th inning, Red Oak up 3-1 in this contest.
Big hole on the right side between first and second if Adam get a pull here on this ball.
Next pitch is off from low. Moves the count to 3-1. We'll see what Mr. Byer is going to do here. Coach Erickson gives a sign, gives his instructions to his hitters to run, and we'll see what Caden Butt has for a
important
pitch
to get a good break here in case of pass ball.
Ooh, it was a called second strike. It was a little bit low in the zone. Brings up the full count against Adam Byer.
Big moment here for the Cardinals to stay in the game. If they can get an out here, I mean, keep their momentum. Strike 3.
Strike 3 is a called strike against Adam Byer, low in the zone, but a called strike none the same. And that's going to make our score going to be Red Oak Tigers 3, Clarinda 1 as we move to the top of the 6th inning. I want to thank you for joining us on KCSI and the live stream channel. We'll be back after a few words from our sponsors.
Time I need a dependable place to get equipment for my ag business, I go to Whip Sales and Service. Always have.
Hey, Dad, this ATV's incredible.
And once my son saw they have ATVs and quads, well, he became a second-generation satisfied customer.
Since 1976, Whip Sales and Service has been serving southwestern Iowa and northwest Missouri with premium commercial ag equipment, grain haulers, tractors, and lots more. We also cover your weekends with ATVs, UTVs, quads, and top-notch mowers. Located in Clarinda, Iowa, where we stay small but sell big.
Red Oak Legion Park, where the Red Oak Tigers lead the Clarinda Cardinals 3-1 the top of the 6th inning. Red Oak taking the field defensively. Dawson Bond returns to the mound. He's been dominant so far with 8 strikeouts. Looks pretty good tonight, Matt.
Yeah, but, I also credit Clarinda. They manufactured that run that last inning in the bottom part of their lineup. The 7, 8, 9 hitters. When you get a run out of that portion of your lineup, Danny, you're doing pretty good. So now the Cardinals got the top of their lineup here. So going against 6 innings, I think if the Cardinals are going to get into this game and tie it up or get right there, this might be the time with this 6th inning leadoff batter, Taden Brown. And everything starts with Taden Brown. Keeping him off base is key if you're the Tigers. The Cardinals getting him on first base because we see what he does on the base pass. He's a combination of Willie Wilson and I don't know who else.
He's pretty fast. He had to fly out to second base on the 1st inning and struck out in the 3rd inning.
That was my Royals
reference
for you.
You got one player. That's pretty good. I'm impressed. You keep working on that, Matt.
Willie Wilson.
First pitch comes in. It's called strike after Taden Brown offers at it for a bunt, but pulls it out and back. It's called strike for strike 1. 0-1 against Taden Brown. Dawson Bond toes the rubber, looks in for the sign, and he's ready for the second pitch. Comes in as a curveball, a little bit on the inside, called for a ball. Third baseman A.J. Schmidt is playing in. He might be anticipating a bunt or some kind of action here, but he sure is playing in on the infield. Bond comes with the next pitch. Fastball over the outside for ball number 2. 2-1 is the count against Taden Brown, the shortstop for the Clarinda Cardinals. Beautiful night here at Red Oak Legion Field. Thanks for joining us on the KCSI YouTube channel. Curveball goes on the outside and a little bit out of the zone. Count now is 3-1.
3-1 here. Bond does not want to lose Brown here.
First batter of the inning. Nobody on, nobody out. Here comes Bond's pitch. Fastball. It's called a strike. So 3-2. He got full on Taden Brown. Let's see what he plans to do with him here.
Big pitch here. Leadoff batter in the 6th inning, 3-2 count.
Brown's ready at the plate. Here comes Bond's pitch. Fastball. Brown offers it. Ground ball to third base. Schmidt pulls up with it. Throws on to first base for the out. That's a 5-3 for out number 1 against the Cardinals for Taden Brown.
Nice play there by A.J. Moved up on the ball, advanced on the ball. With Brown's speed, you've got to do that, Dan. You cannot sit back. You got to advance on that ball and make that throw. And A.J. did that, and big first out there for the Tigers.
Brings up the freshman catcher, number 9, Ryan Wagner. He takes the first call strike for the first pitch. Wagner was struck out looking in the 1st inning and flew out to left field in the 4th. No hit for him so far tonight. 1 out, nobody on here in the top of the 6th. Second pitch comes in, a little bit on the outside for 1 ball, 1 strike against Wagner. Next pitch from Bonds coming in, that's fastball. Nice little looper right back to the pitcher, and Dawson Bond snags it for out number 2. Line drive back to the pitcher.
If you want to come back, that's a softly hit one. You don't want those rockets coming back there. So right. Dawson had plenty of time to get the glove up and snag that one.
The right fielder, Ronnie Weidman, number 8, is the next batter for Clarinda. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Red Oak leads this game 3-1. Bond's first pitch goes a little bit outside for ball number 1.
Schmidt's still playing up. I think I'm going to move him back a little bit here on third base with 2 outs.
Weidman ground out to the second base in the first inning, and then in the fourth inning he struck out looking. Second pitch is a little bit outside as well. 2-0 on the batter. Once again, your score 3-1 Red Oak here. Top of the 6th inning as Weidman calls for time is granted by the home plate umpire, steps out of the box. Bond set at the front and is ready to go. Weidman's back in the box, and here comes the pitch. Second off-speed pitch, we called for a strike for 2-1 on Weidman.
That's interesting. He's down 2-0, and he came back with either a curve or a changeup, something there, and did not come with a heater.
Next pitch from Bond coming in. Called strike, so he's at 2-2 now. Looks like he made some little adjustments there on what he wanted to do.
Sometimes those off-speed pitches come later in the game, Danny.
Fastball comes in a little bit outside. Thought maybe the Weidman would offer at him, but he did not. That's going to move our count to 3-2. Full count, 2 out here in the top of the 6th inning. We'll see what Bond has dialed up for Weidman here. Weidman steps out of the box, does a little stretching, steps back into the box, and here we're ready for the 3-2 pitch. 2 out, top of the 6th inning. Pitch comes in, called third strike. He thought it was on the inside, but that's another strikeout looking for Dawson Bond. That's 3 up, 3 down for the 6th inning. Our score after 5.5 innings, Red Oak Tigers coming to bat with the lead, 3-1. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors.
CR Graphics has a new owner. Hi, this is Carter Bruce, the new owner of CR Graphics. I look forward to serving all of Southwest Iowa for your custom design needs. Our services include customizable apparel, banners, yard signs, magnets, car decals, window stickers, posters, and more. We are your one-stop shop for all your graphic design needs. The possibilities are endless. Stop by CR Graphics, located at 101 North Broadway in Red Oak, and see how we can help you or your business out. CR Graphics, your graphic design center in Red Oak.
Welcome back, Aaron West, Dan Krause, Matt Davis. Really, I'm just here.
He's our engineer for the night. 79 degrees, beautiful night for baseball. Sun is finally down now over the horizon. We've got the lights on, and a lot of people here enjoying a great game. Red Oak Tigers leading 3-1.
Hey, Aaron, I understand that you're an Arkansas Razorback fan.
Yeah, correct.
And it's my understanding that the way the NCAA tournament brackets are set up, that your Razorbacks could match up against
it is potential
the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Yes.
Everybody gets a day off that day, right?
I hope so.
Okay.
That could be really good.
Aaron's going to pay for a round trip to Omaha to watch that game.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Here we go. Tigers are 7, 8, 9 batters up.
Brody Bond's going to lead off for the Tigers. He's our second baseman, number 7. Swings at the first pitch, lines it out, and right between the second baseman and the shortstop for a hit in the dead center field. Brody Bond is on for a hit here in the 6th inning. Good piece of hitting there by Brody Bond.
Absolutely nice. Again, just controlled swing. Coach Erickson talked about how important it is for his Tigers to make contact. A strikeout is an unproductive at-bat, so do something. There's a throw to first.
Cale Hall is a batter now for the Tigers. He's going to step up playing left field tonight. Cale's been pretty productive and just unproductive at-bats, but he's been showed some things there while he's been up tonight. He offers it a pitch at a bunt and comes up empty. Quick throw down to first base, and Brody Bond is back. So we quickly have a count of 0-1 against Cale Hall. He looks to Coach Erickson for his instructions. Brody Bond takes a nice lead off of first base. Pitch comes into Hale.
That's a good bunt.
Cale Hall, nice bunt out in front. They're going to try to throw down to second, and they get the out at second base. So
nice play there by the catcher, Wagner. He was able, saw the ball in front of him, made a good scoop, good strong assertive throw to second base to get the lead runner.
So Cale Hall reaches on a fielder's choice, and Brody Bond is out 2-4 for the first out of the inning. 1 down now brings up Brett Erickson, our shortstop for the Red Oak Tigers. Brett has had a walk and a hit so far for the Tigers.
Been on base twice and an RBI. So
pitch on the outside brings the count to 1 ball, no strikes.
Brett's had a good night at the plate so far.
Cale Hall gets back to first base quickly.
Speaking of Hawkeyes, Brett Erickson, big Hawkeye baseball fan.
No, yeah, as the whole Erickson family is. Good. Erickson hits a nice line drive, but it just goes foul.
And I believe they're also Cleveland Indians fans.
Yes, they are.
I don't understand that.
Well, I don't
know where that came from.
I've been having to go through therapy with them, but they continue to have their loyalty towards the Cleveland Indians, and that's just
But
fine.
who am I to talk as a Cubs fan?
Yeah, well, if anybody knows defeat, it's any Cub fan.
Careful.
Okay, here's the run down right back to the pitcher, but this time they're going to go to first to get Brett Erickson. That's going to move Cale Hall down to second base. So Brett Erickson with a productive sacrifice there to move the runner. But he's out 1-3 for the second out of the inning. Going to move us to the top of the lineup with Mr. Chase Roeder. So far, Roeder has ground to third base. He's got a hit, and he's been hit by a pitch in the fourth inning. Comes up here in the sixth. Runner on second base with 2 outs.
So what you saw, your 8th and 9th hitter there, good job to get the bunts down, trying to do something productive at that lower part of the batting lineup. Base hit.
That's a nice hit. Comes out. The shortstop snags it, brings it up to first base, and that's a successful out.
Nice play there by Brown.
Yeah, Roeder got a nice bat on the ball, but hit it right to the shortstop. That's a 6-3 for out number 3. Your score, Red Oak Tigers 3, Clarinda Cardinals 1. We're going to go to the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll be back after our words from our sponsors. Welcome back to Red Oaks Legion Park, where we've got the Clarinda Cardinals visiting the Red Oak Tigers. Tigers are up here in the top of the 7th inning by a score of 3-1. Dawson Bond tossing just a gem on the mound, but he's got to go through the heart of the Clarinda order now with the first baseman, Creighton Tuzio, up to bat for Clarinda. Creighton so far has struck out looking and struck out swinging in the 4th inning. He leads off here in the 7th inning. Bond's first pitch, swing by Tuzio, comes up empty, strike number 1. Nice block there by the catcher Woods, bringing ball out in front of him. Bond appears to be in total control of this game here, Matt. What do you think?
Yeah, sitting on 10 strikeouts at this point, and there's a big fly by Tuzio.
Out to left field. Cale Hall brings it in, the left fielder for the Tigers for out number 1. That's a fly out to left field.
Wind has died down here at Legion Park. The wind tends to blow out the outfield, but nothing in the air right now, Dan, except a nice summer evening, and Cardinals down their last 2 batters. 2 outs, I should say.
McCall, the batter, the second baseman for Clarinda. Here comes the first pitch, comes in a little bit low, ball 1.
McCall 1 for 2 on the night, had a single back in the 2nd inning.
Steps up in there, right-handed hitter. Nobody on, 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. Bond's pitch comes in. Curveball, called strike number 1 for a count of 1-1. Let's see what Bond plans to do with him there. He's, like I said, put out at 5, pop out to 5, and then he's grounded back to the pitcher. Next pitch comes in a little bit high for 2 balls and 1 strike against McCall. James McCall, a senior for Clarinda, right-handed batter. 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. Pitch from Bond, fastball, called a strike. Evens up the count, 2-2.
These teams are going to match up at least 2 more times. There'll be a game back in Clarinda, and they'll meet down in the playoffs at some point later in the season. So they'll
fastball comes in a little bit low there. Count goes full on McCall for Clarinda. Bond looks in for the sign. He's going to toe the rubber. Looks in. Gets set. Nobody on base for Clarinda. Here's Bond's pitch. Swung at, and looks like it's fouled off the third base side. Picked up by A.J. Schmidt in foul ball territory. We'll do it all again. McCall reached out and a little bit ahead on that one. Knocks it down the third base line as a right-handed hitter. We'll see what Mr. Bond has dialed up for him at this time. Full count. 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. Tigers up 3-1. Curveball comes in a little bit high, so McCall is going to walk.
Brings up Levi Wise. Levi had a hit back in the 5th inning, 1 for 2. So Cardinals still have some life here, and 1 out, run on first. See if Coach Eberle's got his runners moving or is going to stay put here. You don't want to risk an out on the base at this point, I wouldn't think.
First pitch comes in a little bit high. Ball 1 against Beckel, the third base. No,
Wise.
against Wise, I'm sorry. Against Wise, the left fielder. Second pitch coming in, swung at and fouled off straight back. Evens up the count 1-1 with 1 out. Runner at first base for Clarinda. 1 out. Count 1-1 against Wise. He steps out of the box. Umpire calls time for a second. Bond steps off. Umpire now brings it back into action. Bond steps on the rubber at the mound, checks the runner, turns and throws to first base. Runner comes back. Thinking maybe there was a steal on there. That he was taking a little extra time.
Yeah, the Cardinals are, like we said all night, they're a great base running team and a good situational base running team. You know, it's not just running fast, but knowing when to run, how to run,
Pitch
the right time
in,
of the game.
A little bit on the outside.
Case in point, manufacturing that run back in the 5th inning.
3-1 is the score. Tigers lead Clarinda here in the top of the 7th inning. Runner on first, 1 out. Pitch comes in from Bond. It's a little bit low. It's going to make that count go to 3-1 now.
Get the count. Sense here that Dawson just laboring a little bit here on the mound.
Trying to figure out how he wants to do it. He's seen these batters now. This will be the 3rd time around. Wants to make sure he makes the right pitch. Pitch from Bond. It's a
chopper.
The shortstop. Touches second. Throws on to first. And
Safe
he's safe
at
at first base. So we got 2 outs.
Nice play there by Brett Erickson. Danny, he really had to cover that base at the same time he was fielding the ball at the bag with the runner bearing down on him, Danny. But he touched the bag and then even got the throw off the first, but just a bit late. But a big second out there for the Tigers.
So fielder's choice for Wise. He reaches Beckel, the third baseman, comes up now. Beckel had a hit back in the 5th inning and hit by a pitch in the 3rd. He's got a runner at first base, but there's 2 outs. Tigers lead 3-1 here in the top of the 7th inning. Dawson Bond's pitch a little bit outside for ball 1.
Beckel's been hit by a pitch, like you said, got a hit. So Cardinals down to our last out here. Tigers trying to beat the Clarinda for the first time since 2019.
Next pitch comes in. It's a called strike, so evens up the count 1-1 against the third baseman Beckel. Bond looking on the main, toes the rubbers, checking the sign from the catcher. Checks the runner at first base. Here comes the pitch. A little bit of an off-speed pitch is on the outside there and called for a ball. Bond looks in, gets the sign again. Checks the runner. Hitter reaches out for the pitch, the off line to the left fielder, and that is your ball game, folks. Red Oak Tigers come up with a victory with a complete game pitch by Dawson Bond. 10 strikeouts in the game today and a win of 3-1. We want to thank you for joining us here on the KCSI YouTube channel. We're going to have some more from the Red Oak Tigers in tonight's game after a few words from our sponsors.
Look, I'm not the kind of person that needs a trophy every time I do a good deed, but I like rewards as much as the next guy. That's why I got a sensible checking account at Bank Iowa. I can earn 10 cents cash back on purchases made with my debit card monthly with no limits on the amount I earn back. Plus, I get free online banking and identity theft protection. All I have to do is keep $100 in the account and receive e-statements. Basically, I'm getting rewarded by Bank Iowa for saving trees and buying stuff. Visit your local Bank Iowa location to learn about our sensible checking account option or read more online at bankiowa.bank, member FDIC.
When you go home, you'll feel good about what you did, And, you know, you're doing it for the kids. If they don't have us, they don't have these games.
Turn my mic.
Time I need a dependable place to get equipment for my ag business, I go to Whip Sales and Service. Always have.
Hey, Dad, this ATV's incredible.
And once my son saw they have ATVs and quads, well, he became a second-generation satisfied customer.
Since 1976, Whip Sales and Service has been serving southwestern Iowa and northwest Missouri with premium commercial ag equipment, grain haulers, tractors, and lots more. We also cover your weekends with ATVs, UTVs, quads, and top-notch mowers. Located in Clarinda, Iowa, where we stay small but sell big.
For the Clarinda Cardinals tonight, in 7 innings, 3-1 is your final score. A fantastic pitching performance by Dawson Bond. Had the Clarinda hitters guessing all night. And some great defense by Red Oak as well. And an all-around complete game on a beautiful night here. What a great night to see a ball game, huh, Matt Davis?
Yeah, absolutely. We saw two good pitchers on the mound tonight. We expected that out of Dawson Bond, and we got that. He goes complete game, 7 innings, giving up 1 run, 3 hits, giving up 10 strikeouts, only 1 walk. He moves his record to 2-0 on the year. And then Caden Butt pitched really well for Clarinda, went the whole distance, 6 innings, gave up 3 runs, 5 hits, 6 strikeouts, 3 baseballs, 2 hit batters, and a crisply played, well-played game. And for the Tigers, you kind of got nervous there because in that 3rd, 4th, 5th inning, they had left a lot of base runners on. You thought, man, they come back to get them. But Dawson let him down to end there, get some big strikeouts. And I think the other key, Danny, Taden Brown 0 for 3 tonight. We talked about the top. That if you keep Taden Brown off the bases, you have a pretty good chance, and that's exactly what happened. So, you know, Dawson with the 1 through 4 batters in their lineup, he goes. They go 0 for 12. So 1 through 4, the Clarinda batters really were shut down by Dawson tonight.
Yeah, you know, and looking at it, you know, Dawson has some really good stuff, but he was mixing it up well.
Yeah.
He was changing positions with the pitches, which is very important. And especially on that 2nd, 3rd, maybe even 4th time through a lineup, you want to make sure that you keep the batters offline, so you don't want to feed them the same stuff every time. You can see high school pitchers that get stuck on their fastball, but when he gets to the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th time through the lineup, everybody can hit a fastball. So, you know, it just makes a big difference. And it was a good win against Clarinda. Like you said, first win for the Tigers since 2019, and we were lucky to be the ones here to do it. We want to thank you for joining us and joining us here on the live stream, KCSI tonight. We appreciate all the good comments. We take all the critique to heart. We want to do this again. We want to enjoy a nice evening here for baseball, but we enjoy bringing it to the people that can't make it to the games, and hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. I'm looking now off to the west at one of the most beautiful sunsets you've ever seen in your life. Of course, you know, a sunset after a win at the Red Oak Legion Field is a beautiful sunset.
And we got Coach Erickson coming in, a couple of his players. We'll get them. You might want to give a headphone. Here we go.
Looks like we got Mr. Dawson Bond coming up here. Dawson, fantastic team. Very good. We're going to give this to Coach Erickson first, get him up here. Brett Erickson also going to join us here. Coach Erickson, congratulations on the win. Give us your assessment. How do you think things went tonight?
Yeah, really well. Clarinda's a good team.
Yes.
And they absolutely they played well. I don't think their starter had a whole lot of experience pitching, and he came in and did a nice job, threw strikes.
Absolutely.
Kept us off balance, especially in the beginning. And then I'd just say, you know, Dawson did what Dawson does.
Dawson did what Dawson does. Yep, that's right.
And, Coach, I think we talked about pregame. First win over Clarinda since 2019. They've kind of had the series recently. Big win for the Road Tigers tonight.
Yeah, it is. It's got a couple more coming up here. Big week in terms of districts. Got Shan tomorrow and Trainer on Saturday. So we'll move past this one pretty quick. It is a big win. We want to celebrate here for a little while, but we'll move past it and move on to Shan.
You're going to see these teams later on here, of course, in playoffs, but these are all Class 2A teams, so a good statement. The other thing I thought tonight, Coach, you got some production out of the bottom of your lineup, and this guy right here to your left, the 9-hole here, was productive with an RBI. That's always big when you get some production out of your bottom part of your batting lineup.
Yeah, he's been struggling a little bit so far this year. I think he would say that too. And he did a nice job just staying on the ball. he's been getting extra work off the tee and in batting practice, and paid off tonight.
Of course, Dad's going to gush about him. Let's hear now from Brett Erickson. Brett, I want to hear about that defensive play there at the end of the game where you caught the ground ball and then touched on second. You wanted a double play bad. I could see it in your eyes. You wanted it bad, but it says a lot about discipline, about making the play that needs to be made first. And tell me what goes through your mind when you're out there. And of course, every defensive play, I want the ball, right?
Yeah, the ball was hit the second. I knew at first that I just needed to touch second. I tried turning two, but I really didn't have a chance.
Right. Yeah.
Might as well try.
We talked earlier about this game, how many years I've been watching baseball on this field and how this grass infield just eats up ground balls. So it's very difficult to do on that side. But a good night at the plate. Were you seeing the ball well?
Yeah, I've been seeing the ball a lot better tonight than I have been.
Good.
Yeah, every plate appearance you had something tonight. You had a base on ball scored first run, and you got singled RBI there in the fourth inning, and then even your last at bat there, 6, you made to put a good bunt down to advanced runners. So it's important to do something productive. Like your dad was saying, coach saying, put the ball in play, good things happen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to work on his interviewing skills next.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it's important, and it does a lot to say for the future of the program to see our younger players step up like that. So that's why we wanted to bring Brett up and see his perspective. Brett, I've been watching you play for a number of years. I'm excited about what's going on because, you've got a bright future in playing ball and everything you do. And you turn out to be just as good a human as the guy that you got to your left. You're going to be just all right. We're going to move on to him now. Mr. Dawson Bond, your winning pitcher tonight. What a performance. How do you feel, bud?
Oh, the body's a little banged up right now, but the important thing is we got through it, limited pitch count, got all through 7 innings, which is a big emphasis coming into this game. I think now I pitched 2 games and went through all 7, which I think maybe did once last year.
Wow.
But, like I said, getting in the strike zone, no matter how you feel it's so important because you got all these guys behind you.
Right. Yeah, I only saw you had 1 walk on the night, Dawson, 10 strikeouts. But it seemed to me like you went a little more off speed tonight. Is that true? I mean, or was that maybe not? I don't know. You thought that was your typical game with your pitch selection, or did you do something different you saw in the game tonight with your pitch selection?
I'd say maybe just a little more off speed. I definitely like to mix it up, whether it's no one expects a 2-0 curveball. Right. They're going to sit on that all day.
Well, you were behind the count a couple times, and you came back with off-speed stuff, which I thought was kind of a lot of confidence when you be able to do that.
Exactly, yeah. I have a really good feel for my curveball and just getting it in the zone, which is super important. And then, when you go back to the fastball, sometimes it blows right by them, sometimes they put it in play, but I don't think too many hard-hit balls were hit tonight.
Well, I'd say your pitch selection tonight kept them off balance, and that keeps that hard-hit balls from happening. And you had some great defense out there tonight. You had some people who really stepped up for it and made some good plays for it. Makes it for an all-around great game, a very quick game for the whole team, and we're commenting up here between the innings that you're going to ask us to come stream every baseball game. We can get through an hour and a half with a win like this against a team like Clarinda, a formidable team. They've got good history. We were talking about the Eberly family and their history with Clarinda baseball. But you guys got to be proud of what you got going on tonight. But, man, you got a schedule ahead of you, right? You got more games coming up this week. And tell me what you do after a game like this tonight. Get ready for tomorrow.
Oh, just go home, get some good sleep, come back tomorrow with a mindset that we're going to take out Shan. We're going to let this momentum bring us forward, but we don't want this to be the peak of this week. We've still got 2 important district games, like Coach said, so we're going to use that as momentum.
Okay. Coach Brett Erickson, Coach Mark Erickson, Brett Erickson, and Dawson Bond joining us here on the post game here on the KCSI streaming channel.
So I got a question for Brett Erickson. Now, Brett, I understand you're an Iowa Hawkeye fan.
Yeah.
You are. Now, you realize they're in NCAA playoffs. They could be facing the Arkansas Razorbacks, this Aaron West fan here.
Beware. Okay.
You might get some hog calls if Arkansas beats Iowa.
I'll give an instructional course on how to call the Hogs when we get to that point. Woo Pig Suey, just remember that. So
could be. We got a lot of pork production in this state, so I have no problem with that, right, Brett? I think our Hawkeyes are going to come through just fine.
Congratulations, guys. Good game. Go get them tomorrow night in Shenandoah.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Very good.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you, guys.
And we want to thank you, all the listeners, everybody who's participated on the KCSI YouTube channel tonight and taken our virgin voyage with a baseball game here at Red Oak Legion Park. Thank you very much for joining us. We like the comments. We like hearing from all of you. And hopefully we can make this happen again here in the future. This is Dan Krause from Matt Davis and Aaron West. We're going to go over some of the stats that we got here in the game. And 3-1 is your final score, Red Oak over Clarinda. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Welcome back, and what a fun evening, guys.
It has been. What a neat night being out here. Beautiful weather. The crowd had a good time. We saw some quality baseball. We saw not a lot of errors, maybe 1 or 2 errors throughout the game. Some good pitching on both parts, both from an experienced pitcher like Dawson Bond and from the Caden Butt, their pitcher as well. The Tigers come out on top of this one, 3-1.
Absolutely, Tigers move to 5-2 on the year, pick up a Hawkeye 10 win, but as Coach Everson right back at it against Shenandoah, against the Mustangs tomorrow night, and then Trainer on Saturday. So right in the groove of the baseball season.
Make it a great day. Thanks, guys, for all your fun
Ladies
work.
and gentlemen, thank you for being part of my dream. This has been a lot of fun to be with you tonight.